Hello once again, Musto006 back for some more Mega Man 9. Things have gone pretty well so far, so here's hoping I don't get blown off course by the next Robot Master, Tornado Man. Probably my favourite all-time classic Mega Man stage music right here. I love Tornado's theme. Now I decided not to bother popping this blue enemy. If you do, it deflates, arcs downwards and can be really awkward to avoid, so all things considered, I like to leave most of the blue enemies we'll be seeing on this stage alone. And here we're introduced to a very nice twist on the traditional rail platform gimmick. You spin on the platform, and if you're on the bottom when you jump, you'll fall straight down. So be careful, especially over bottomless pits and spikes. Yes, quite a bit of the level consists of these rotating platforms, so you'll need to become quite accustomed to them. Best advice I can give is to try to position yourself on the right hand edge of the platforms, as there'll be a few tight jumps to make. Wait to see whether you're aligned nicely, i.e. on top, when you need to make a jump, and if not, let the platform carry you back and make a small adjustment by jumping to get the timing to work out better. I find these sections pretty fun, especially with no enemies around to worry about. A few more balloons and I do actually attack the last one here, despite my warning earlier, but I deliberately positioned myself sufficiently far over the left that I knew the balloon would scroll off screen rather than swoop at me. Shield tackles on icy platforms. Doesn't sound too appealing, but provided you time when you drop down so you can immediately get some damage in, these sections are not so bad. Of course though, be mindful of ice physics when making perilous jumps. Time for a Clement, whoops I mean Sniper, whoops actually I mean Machine Gun Joe. So named because he sprays bullets. Just don't get too greedy with these Joes. See if you can get the timing down so that you can get some damage in as soon as he drops his shield, but before the bullets are fired. It may take you a number of cycles to actually kill them, but it's better than trying to trade fire with fire. And incidentally, in my opinion, not counting the Armor Joes from Mega Man 2, so the Sniper Joes and the mechs, these Joe incarnations are probably some of the most dangerous out there. And anyway, seems like we're suddenly in Toadman stage. We've got the jump distance reducing range to contend with. For the first section, we've got some umbrellas to watch out for while we're platform hopping. Note that you can step on the clouds. Followed by, you've guessed it, a spinning platform section. A lot more awkward this time around with the rain in play. The reduced jump distance more than ever means you want to be on the right hand edge of the platforms. And as I said before, if the timing doesn't look nice, don't worry. Just backtrack and reset your positioning. And again, with no enemies around, you can do this as many times as needed until you're comfortable with the timing. One last platforming hopping section where the rain works in our favour. You get some extra distance when you jump. Now I say favour, but do be careful that this extra boost doesn't cause you to jump too far and overshoot the platforms. Also, goes without saying, watch out for the umbrellas. Oddly enough, speedrunning this section works really well, as you'll end up ahead of the umbrellas and they won't get in your way at all. But, as you've just seen, if you're nervous about that, waiting around, provided you're careful, is fine too. Tornado Man only really has one attack. Summon tornadoes from underneath the floor that rise up to the ceiling. They'll sort of spawn in based on Mega Man's position, but if you keep moving in the same direction, you'll easily outrun them. Now, one thing to be mindful of is that Mega Man jumps high when the tornadoes are on screen, and the response on the ceiling, so watch out and try not to jump too high. Aside from the tornadoes, Tornado Man himself will occasionally float up a dive bomb at you, and if you don't get cornered, it's easy enough to deal with, but if you do end up cornered, which is easier said than done to avoid happening, dodging him and the tornadoes can be a little tricky. Boom! Another accidental perfect run, in case you weren't paying that close attention. I get Tornado Blow. Very powerful, can blow all mine enemies off screen, and even give Mega Man a jump height boost. But very expensive. You get 4 uses from a full weapon bar. And with 5 Robot Masters beaten, this is not as a result of beating Tornado Man specifically, we get another item. I've upgraded Rush to help you out. Yeah, stop! try to slow him down a bit. Good old Rush Jet, always nice to have. And once again, not strictly necessary, but here's my original perfect run. For any of you thinking this stage was a pushover, you should think again. Admittedly, I think most of, if not all, my level outtakes can be put down to either clumsiness or impatience. The stage certainly shouldn't be taken lightly. It's still a distance till the first trouble spot though, so enjoy the kick-ass music till then. Okay, first outtake of the stage was to the last balloon on this screen. And here you'll be able to see it arcing back toward me, and I managed to take it out. But first time out, I got caught completely off guard. The enemy came back to smack me, quite literally, in the face. And one mess up here. I got down to the lower platform while holding right, slipped on the ice, tried to rectify things as I was aiming for the spikes, but couldn't avoid the higher of the two shield attackers. And now it's time for the hardest part of the stage, this jump. Just wonderful this happened on the successful perfect run. One outtake to this Machine Gun Joe, way too clumsy and way too impatient. Tried to take it out too quickly and paid the price. And having not learnt my lesson at all, I did the same thing with this Machine Gun Joe. Yeah, looking back on things, I'm really not impressed with these level mistakes. And lastly, if you haven't been drilled home that impatience was costly, 2 screw-ups on this rainy spin platform section. Clearly, by this point in time, I think I got the message, and started to reset the timing so that they actually worked out well. And I did say that just rushing this section works very well, and it does. But nevertheless, I didn't quite trust myself at this point in time. So I thought waiting for the umbrellas to float out of range would be the safest course of action. Tornado Man, as I alluded to previously, is not that bad, but he's not a gimme by any means, and he did end my run on 2 occasions. Try to stick to the middle of the screen as much as you can. Don't try to backtrack once the tornadoes have started appearing, unless you find yourself with literally no room left to run to. And if you have to jump, likely over Tornado Man, don't jump too high. And even following my own rules here, thanks to his low in the air position and only summoning tornadoes once rather than twice before dive bombing at me, I had to pull off a nice dodge. Just makes it seem all the more cool though, right? So my Let's Play attempt might have made you think that this stage should have been a breeze. Pun very much intended. But alas, clumsiness takes over and things don't always work out that way. I mean, the stage was still fine, but looking back at things, this probably should have got even better. I took 25 minutes to get the successful perfect run, suffering 8 outtakes along the way, with 2 of those on the Robot Master. So that means 6 level outtakes, and to be honest, that seems a few too many. Most of the times I was stupidly jumping into barrages of pellet shots, or unnecessarily shooting at balloon enemies that float back into me, or slipping on the icy ground, etc. I can only think of a few screens that might pose a potential problem: the rotating platform areas and the rain effect areas. For the rotating platform areas, provided you take your time, don't get greedy and not try to make unnecessarily difficult jumps, these portions look more daunting than they actually are. If the timing for jumping from one platform to the next are awkward, just make some tiny adjustments by jumping back onto the platform from above. Don't try doing this from underneath, in order to get yourself aligned better. Tornado Man himself falls into the category of Robot Masters that I wouldn't be devastated if I got hit to, more just disappointed, as he's really not that bad. He doesn't have a lot of different attacks, blowing tornadoes up at you from below the screen, and dive bombing at you. The dive bombing isn't difficult to avoid in itself, it's just where you have to be positioned on screen after dodging it. You do not want to be cornered at the edge of the screen, as it will be far harder to avoid the tornadoes. You'll have to jump over Tornado Man. Ideally, you also want to leave enough room so that you need not have to try to fit in between any tornadoes. This will certainly be much trickier than simply constantly moving left or right. However, easier said than done. I tend to like to stay close to Tornado as he's dive bombing, and then at the last moment move out of the way in the direction that leaves the most room to manoeuvre in. This seems to work a good proportion of the time, but isn't quite foolproof. So as I said, I'd fancy my chances of not taking any damage, but he'll certainly catch me out every now and then. It's only in hindsight that I believe I should have done a better job at this stage. There and then, I was actually quite happy with how it turned out. Not that it was disastrous though. And admittedly, the music helped maintain my good mood. It's my favourite Roadmaster stage theme in the entire classic series after all. So I give Tornado a 2 out of 10. The stage is reasonably easy, although clearly there are a few places where you need to keep your wits about you. Principally the large gap and spike areas with the rotating platforms. Just be patient here and ideally wait for the platforms to align themselves nicely. If this is not possible and you always seem to end up on the bottom of the platform at the crucial time, make some tiny adjustments by jumping off the platform from above until things work out. Don't try to be greedy, you'll almost certainly regret it. Everything else level-wise shouldn't pose too many problems. For Tornado Man, I find the trick is to ensure that when he drops to the floor, you're close to him so as to avoid him cornering you. But it's still easy to mess up if you need to jump to avoid the tornadoes, having to make sure you jump high enough to clear the tornadoes and Tornado Man, but not so high you crash into the ceiling spikes. I wouldn't say he's difficult, but he can certainly catch you out on occasion. But that's another Robot Master blown away. Tune in again to find out whether my next Robot Master leaves me feeling bedraggled or bejeweled. Cheerio.